It is almost St. Patrick's Day, and today I have resources to help you and yours celebrate that super fun, silly holiday. I'm Jacqueline. This is homeschoolhangout.xyz, and I am a veteran homeschooler here trying to help you guys educate, raise, and homeschool your children. I'm on all the social medias. They're linked below. But let's get into the fun, the St. Patrick's Day of it all. Okay, St. Patrick's Day. I think first and foremost, before we get into anything else, it is an American holiday. It is clearly an American holiday. There is St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, but I think it's more of a tourism day than anything else. And it makes sense. 10% of Americans are Irish, or at least claim to be. I'm in that. This cute little round face and very light skin. Yeah, it's got roots back over to Ireland and Scotland. And so I've always loved St. Patrick's Day. Always, always, always. And I am a little English too, but we don't talk about that much in my family. And it all really comes back to St. Patrick, not to the beer, not to the grain beer and all of that, but to St. Patrick. St. Patrick was kidnapped as a young man, taken to Ireland. Then he escaped, found faith, went back to Ireland, and shared the gospel. He did not do anything with snakes. He also didn't do anything really leprechauns. Stay away from leprechauns. They're scary. And so for me, St. Patrick's Day has to kick off with reading the Confession of St. Patrick. I know that sounds intimidating. It isn't. It is up for free, and I'll include links over at homeschoolhangout.xyz and maybe down below. If you don't see them down below, pop over there. And this is a simple, I'm looking at it, I have it up on my computer right now. It is an 8-point, I'd say maybe 2 pages printed at a larger size in fairly easy to understand language. I highly, highly recommend it. I think it's a great reading every year, frankly. And so I'll include a link to that. So that for me, that is the number one resource. And you can read it out loud to kids, I'd say 3rd grade and under, but I think they'll still understand some of it. If not, it's a great conversation starter. But this is something definitely anything over 3rd grade can read. If you want them to analyze it, they can, but I generally just read it myself. And I think it's great. I just think it's great. I'll be honest, most of these resources are very light and fun and, yes, entertaining. What is this? It's 2024 when I'm recording it. St. Patrick's Day is on a Sunday. We're just keeping it light and fun. But if you want some actual worksheets and you have younger kids, Hess Academy has a free packet of St. Patrick's Day writing prompts that include instructions and printable pages and all of that stuff. I'll include a link to that. Also, and yes, I do have this all up over here, so I'm looking at it. Activity Village out of the UK also has some great resources on their St. Patrick's Day page. They have crafts, they have coloring pages, they have dot-to-dots, they have printables. You can even do, matching letters on shamrocks. I'm looking at it. Let's see, word searches, all types of things. When my kids were little, we did an entire lap book on St. Patrick's Day. I don't know that that's anywhere public anymore because I downloaded it seriously like 12 years ago. If I find it, I'll drop it in, but I don't think so. And it talked about all the things, including snakes and all that stuff. It has all kinds of ideas, though, also, just for other things you can do, coloring sheets, all of it. And then DLTK has some stuff, too, including crosswords, writing prompts. What else do they have? They've got Sudoku, which I find really cute. I think Sudoku is a great logic exercise anyways. So this may be a really good way because it's done with images instead of numbers to start teaching that logic to even younger kids. But if you don't know, I'm a big fan of teaching logic to kids. I think that's an important thing that sometimes schools miss out on. But anyways, that is a different soapbox for a different day. Okay, so then we're going to start getting into all the rest of this is pretty much media to consume. And the History Channel site, which is history.com, has a lot of really good things. They talk about, of course, St. Patrick's Day traditions. They also talk about the history of both St. Patrick and St. Patrick's Day. And why that's important is Chicago and Boston have been the main drivers for kind of the inception of St. Patrick's Day. And I personally find that a very interesting peek into American history because we had such a sudden influx a few times of the Irish, and it changed kind of how things were done. Personally, I know I was watching, what was it, The Gilded Age, and in your northern states, you didn't have as many slaves. What you had was Irish indentured servants. And then they went to just Irish paid, poorly paid servants. And their nervousness as society was changing in New York was interesting, was an interesting take. Not a kid's show. That's an adult show. But yes, there's also, a lot of Irish songs talking about the Irish building New York and Chicago, your police, your, Tammany Hall, where you really learn about some corrupt politics coming in and immigrant politics. It's a great history lesson for your kids. I find that historically just fascinating. And so History Channel has a lot of stuff. They also talk about like the St. Patrick's Day parades, which I'll be honest, I live in Fresno. I don't know that I've ever been to a St. Patrick's Day parade. You also can take this and really use it to jump off for Celtic history, which is a little different than a lot of that, than the traditional St. Patrick's Day stuff. But the Celts, they've got links to talking about their artifacts and all of that stuff. Kind of that, the Celts are interesting because there's kind of that arc over the top of Europe where it's the Celts and the Danes and all of that kind of made up the Norse a little bit. And a lot of the Celts are the Norse sailors who landed in Ireland. They also have some interesting things about facts and myths that are debunked. One of my big ones is the whole snake thing. I think they even have a section on like leprechauns, which, I'm just going to say, do not mess with leprechauns. Just saying. They also have like short videos that are like a minute long that might make for some really interesting factoid watching. So there's that. Then the Torchlighters it's a Christian media, and they have the St. Patrick's story, and I think it's about a half-hour long video. Then there's, of course, the Veggie Tales St. Patrick's Day, and I'm including links to all of these on YouTube for free. The Veggie Tales St. Patrick's Day special is a flanagram. So those of you who were raised in church a long time ago, like before the 90s, you gotta love a good flanagram. Flannelgram? I never felt like I said that right. But they go through it and tell the story of St. Patrick, and it's adorable. It's adorable. But then again, I like Veggie Tales. I'm almost 50. I still like Veggie Tales. Sorry, I just do. Also, then there's the traditional, the super traditional, it's St. Patrick's Day. It might be time to rewatch Riverdance. And so Riverdance, the free one I'm linking is the original with Gene Butler and Michael Flatley. And I'm going to be honest, I've seen it with Colin. I cannot remember his name. Colin. Hold on a second. Let me go over here and see something else. Nope, that's all in Russian. I cannot remember Colin. I cannot remember his name. He's got dark hair. Very piercing. I actually kind of like his better than Michael Flatley. I know. But so that's like one of the original river dances on YouTube. If you want to see like the 25th anniversary, depending on what streaming media you have, if you have a Roku, I believe it's free on the Roku channel. I believe it's also free with commercials on Tubi, and it may be on Plex for free. But that's the 25th anniversary one because I'm old. I remember when it came out. I was married when it came out. Yeah, I was a full-grown adult. But Riverdance is a tradition. Now, if you want to go beyond Riverdance, this was not as well loved, but it is Gene Butler and Colin. I want to say done, but I don't think it's done. Doing performance, a story called Dancing on Dangerous Ground, and it is one of the Finn McCool stories with Grania. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Grania. I've seen some different spellings of it. And it's more story driven than river dance. It is something I personally would kind of recommend for older kids, not because it's super inappropriate. You are dealing with Grania was engaged to Finn McCool, who was like this big chief and fell in love with somebody else. There's a lot of Irish story that goes with this kind of, I believe it's Finn McCool and Grania. And just because of that, and it's a little harder to follow. So that's why I say older kids. My kids didn't enjoy it as much when they watched it when I want to say they were like 10 and down. But I think they've seen it since, especially my girls, and I think they liked it a lot. It's also Jean Butler, who is a phenomenal Irish dancer. The last thing I've got for you guys, which isn't exactly free, it is if you have Netflix, and I cannot vouch for this because I've not seen it yet. I did not know it existed until I was looking for where to stream Riverdance. There is an animated Riverdance story on Netflix for kids. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I cannot verify how good it is. But if you have Netflix, there is that. There's that. I'm sure that we will be checking it out soon because I had no idea about it. But yeah, so there are 10 things you can enjoy for St. Patrick's Day. There's also a bunch of Irish, what do they call them? Irish proverbs. And I've heard a variety of them over my lifetime. But I am going to leave you with this one. May your neighbors respect you, trouble neglect you, the angels protect you, and heaven accept you. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Bye.